Good morning, girls. Welcome to the subject of environmental science, and we are dealing with the 13th part of environmental science, unit number 1, B section. This is the concluding part of unit number 1, right? We have checked out with so many aspects related to environmental science like meaning, definitions, principles, scope, human environmental relationship, causes of environmental destruction. We have in the last lecture discussed about the environmental ethics. Today we shall discuss about the sustainable business practices, awareness programs, and the importance of environmental studies, right? As I told you, we have seen with the different aspects of environmental ethics in the previous lecture, including introduction, importance, how environmental ethics works in business practices, why it is important, why so many questions that are answered, and we have also checked out with the principles. That means the agreement that we must sign, though it is a not lawful agreement, but we should be having a sincerity towards the earth, and we can follow few of the principles to protect the earth. That is also we have seen. In today's session we will be seeing with the sustainable business practices, environmental awareness programs, and importance of environmental studies. We know what is environment, the sum total that covers or that encircles us or surrounds us, that all the biotic and abiotic factors and their interaction can be considered as environment, right? We know that all the species from the living organisms like us, that means human beings to the microorganism, they all survive and they all coexist in the same environment, and that is why it is very important that we as the intellectual human beings and the creatures on the earth should conserve and protect the environment, so that none of the species are getting extincted, none of the species are adversely getting affected with our activities, and that is what is known as environmental protection. That, and it is a part of environmental ethics, right? This is what we have done in the last lecture. Today we'll be learning about the sustainable business practices. Sustainable means to survive for a long period of time. Business practices means whatever activities are taken in the business can be understood as practices, right? When any business in its operation gives or brings out the minimum negative impact on the environment, community, or society, can be considered as sustainable, right? That means if a business activities के जे minimum negative impact, विपरीत असर environment ऊपर मुक्ति होय, community ऊपर मुक्ति होय, society ऊपर मुक्ति होय, and its operations are so के ए profit पण earn करे छे, at the same time it is not disturbing the environment. These type of practices can be, in short or in a layman's language, can be considered as sustainable business practices, right? It considers the business operations with the environmental sensitiveness. That means whatever the business operations it takes up, it sees to it that it is sensitive enough and we are not neglecting environmental aspects at any point of time. In fact, we are protecting it. Here the business takes the initiative to see that the environment is protected with regards to product, processes, or manufacturing activities, along with profit earning. That means when we say that a business is having or a business is practicing sustainable practices, or it is taking care of sustainable practices, then we can say that it takes care that how the product is being produced, how it is being processed, how it is manufactured, and at the end, is it taking all the steps to see that environment is getting protected. When it takes this into account, at the same time it earns the profit for its long survival. This is what is known as sustainable practices. Thus we can say that sustainable business practices must satisfy the customer needs while balancing the environmental practices also. That means sustainable business practices કેવી છે જે એક તરફ કસ્ટમર નીડ્સને પણ સેટિસ્ફાય કરે છે અને બીજી તરફ જે એન્વાયરમેન્ટલ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ છે અથવા તો એન્વાયરમેન્ટલ પ્રોટેક્શન છે એને પણ એ સંભાળી રાખે છે. That means it strikes a balance between environmental protection as well as satisfying the customer's needs. Today many companies are adopting such kind of sustainable practices. It takes up so many steps to see that we are having the profit on one hand, we are satisfying the customers' needs and services and their requirements on one hand, and at the same same time we are not disturbing, we are not exploiting, and we are not creating any harmful impact on the environment. When it tries to focus on all these, it is said to be sustainable practices of the business. See, there are so many examples which are a part of these sustainable practices, like going paperless, right? You must have seen that so many organizations take up with electronic communication or maybe correspondence, so that unnecessary wastage of paper can be avoided. Again, it takes up with renovating used products, means used products are again refurbished, they are brought into practice again, or they are again brought to the use. That is said to be renovating the used products. Even these practices are taken up by many enterprises. Even the usage of production processes are so adopted that minimizes the wastages. The wastages can be minimized, the kind of say scrap can be minimized, means જેટલો એ બગાડ છે એક પ્રોસેસને અંતે એને આપણે કેવી રીતે સુધારી શકીએ એવી ટાઈપની પ્રોડક્શન પ્રોસેસને પણ અપનાવવામાં આવે છે. ઇવન ધ યુસેજ ઓફ સે નોન ટોક્સિક મટીરિયલ્સ એન્ડ પ્રોસેસીસ આર ઇન વોગ. દેટ મીન્સ વધારે આપણે કોઈ પણ ડેન્જરસ કે ફેટલ આઇટમ્સનો ઉપયોગ ન કરીએ, કોઈ પણ એવા કેમિકલ્સનો ઉપયોગ ન કરીએ જે ટોક્સિક હોય, ડેન્જરસ હોય ઇન નેચર, રાઈટ, પોઈઝનસ હોય, એને અવોઇડ કરીએ, એવા પ્રોસેસીસને અવોઇડ કરીએ, સો દેટ અલ્ટિમેટલી આપણે કોઈ પણ એવી વસ્તુ એન્વાયરમેન્ટમાં ડમ્પ નથી કરતા કે જેનાથી એન્વાયરમેન્ટને નુકસાન થાય છે. સો મેની ટાઈપ્સ ઓફ સસ્ટેનેબલ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ આર અંડરટેકન બાય the unit, right? So there are various strategies for that. They don't randomly take up with these activities. એ લોકો શું કરતા હોય છે, પ્રોપર વેરિયસ સ્ટ્રેટેજીસ, ઘણી બધી સ્ટ્રેટેજીસ દ્વારા, વ્યૂહરચના દ્વારા આવી સસ્ટેનેબલ એથિકલ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ કરતા હોય છે, જે ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનની અંદર પોતાના ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશન સુધી લિમિટેડ હોય, પણ એ સતત એવા પ્રયત્નો કરે છે કે જેનાથી આપણે એન્વાયરમેન્ટને બચાવી શકીએ. વન ઓફ ધ sustainable practices or maybe strategy is innovative and use of technology. That means એવી ટેકનોલોજીનો ઉપયોગ કરવો, એવા લાઈક મેથડ્સનો ઉપયોગ કરવો જેનાથી આપણે જે એન્વાયરમેન્ટ છે એને નુકસાન નથી પહોંચાડતા. એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ વી આર ઇન્ક્લાઇન ટુવર્ડ્સ લેસ વેસ્ટેજ, બેટર ક્વોલિટી એન્ડ ગુડ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ, રાઈટ. આપણે એવી ટેકનોલોજીનો ઉપયોગ કરીએ જેના થકી આપણે ઓછામાં ઓછો બગાડ કરીએ, સારામાં સારી ક્વોલિટી આપીએ, એન્ડ એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ આપણે એવી ગુડ્સ અને સર્વિસીસ પ્રોડ્યુસ કરીએ જેનાથી લાંબા ગાળે એન્વાયરમેન્ટને કોઈ પણ પ્રકારનું નુકસાન થતું નથી. આવી ટાઈપની ઇનોવેટિવ અને ટેકનોલોજીનો ઉપયોગ સતત થાય એવું ધ્યાનમાં લેવામાં આવતું હોય છે. નેક્સ્ટ પોઈન્ટ ઇઝ નેટવર્કિંગ વિથ પાર્ટનર કંપનીઝ. ઇવન એવી સ્ટ્રેટેજીસ અપનાવવામાં આવે છે કે વેરીન દે કેન ડેવલપ અ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ કોઓપરેશન એન્ડ કોલોબરેશન બિટવીન ધ પાર્ટનર કંપનીઝ. દેટ મીન્સ ધી અધર પાર્ટનર કંપનીઝ આર ઓલ્સો કોલોબરેટેડ ટુ સી દેટ all the facilities are exchanged, all the innovative ideas are being discussed, the strategies are being discussed for the sustainable practices. Means one person or one firm may not be doing enough, right, to have the sustainable practices. Then at that time it takes the help from the partner companies also, and they collaborate, they kind of cooperate each other, then they find out the different solutions or maybe the different sustainable practices. Sustainable એટલે લાંબા સમય સુધી ચાલવું. કોને ચાલવાનું છે? બિઝનેસને પ્રોફિટ અર્નિંગથી ચાલવાનું છે. એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ આપણે પહેલાં પણ કીધું કે ઇટ સ્ટ્રાઇક્સ ધ બેલેન્સ દેટ નન ઓફ ધ એન્વાયરમેન્ટલ ફેક્ટર્સ આર ગેટિંગ હાર્મ્ડ, રાઈટ. કોઈ પણ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ છે, કોઈ પણ પર્યાવરણ છે એને આપણે નુકસાન પહોંચાડતા નથી. તો એના માટેના સતત પ્રયાસો છે, અથવા તો કેવી પ્રેક્ટિસીસ કરી શકે બિઝનેસ કે જેના દ્વારા ધીસ થિંગ કેન બી અચીવ, સો દેટ નેટવર્કિંગ કેન બી ડેવલપ્ડ. ધ થર્ડ પોઈન્ટ, ધ થર્ડ સ્ટ્રેટેજી ઇઝ પ્રોસેસ ઇમ્પ્રુવમેન્ટ. પ્રોસેસ એટલે turning or converting the raw materials into finished goods, right? So when you are trying to find out the processes which are providing or which are using the inputs and making the best outputs on one side, and it tries to reduce the wastages, right? Continuous improvement should be there so that the wastages can be reduced, and the processes are such which in which the even the employees are aware about the sustainable plans, that okay, we are not going to waste the materials, we are not going to we are going to take constant care that there is minimum wastage. Such kind of processes should be used so that continuous practice of improvement should be there, જેને કાઇઝન પણ કહેવાય છે. તો એ શું છે? તો કે ઇમ્પ્રુવમેન્ટની સતત પ્રયાસો છે. કયા પ્રયાસો? કે જેના દ્વારા વોટ આર વી ટ્રાઇંગ ટુ ડુ? વી આર ટ્રાઇંગ ટુ મિનિમાઇઝ ધ વેસ્ટેજ, વી આર ટ્રાઇંગ ટુ સી દેટ થિંગ્સ આર અંડર કંટ્રોલ, એન્ડ વી આર નોટ મેકિંગ the worst out of whatever we are using. એટલે ઇનપુટ્સનો ઓપ્ટિમમ યુટિલાઇઝેશન થાય, આઉટપુટ જે પ્રકારનું જોઈએ છે એ જ મળે, અને એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ વી કેન બેલેન્સ બોથ ધ things. That means the business also as well as the environmental protection also. That is what is said to be the finding out of the process improvement. The fourth strategy that it adopts generally is said to be sustainability reporting. See, without reports you will never come to know the performance. So few companies even take up with some kind of periodic reporting. Periodic reporting means the time is being set, say 3 months, 6 months, a year. That time is selected, and at the end of this timing, what company does, it reports its performance, it reports its achievement of different goals, that these many goals we have achieved, taking care of the environment, and such kind of reporting is being done. With this report, what happens is we can even plan out with the further goals to be achieved. That is why it takes care that whatever the activities we have taken up, it has resulted into સસ્ટેનેબિલિટી. એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ આપણે ફરીથી જ્યારે બીજું આપણે જ્યારે જે આખું સાયકલ લઈએ છીએ ત્યારે પણ આ બધા ગોલ્સને ધ્યાનમાં રાખી અને દેન વી ટ્રાય ટુ મેક ધ રિપોર્ટ્સ આઉટ ઓફ ઇટ, વી જનરેટ ધ રિપોર્ટ્સ આઉટ ઓફ ઇટ, સો દેટ અલ્ટિમેટલી વી કમ ટુ નો that whether we are able to achieve the goals at the end or not, right? The fifth strategy that is being adopted is said to be maintaining supply chain. Supply chain means from getting the materials from the suppliers. That means immediate material જે આપણે વાપરીએ છીએ, we are getting it from suppliers, and what we are trying to do, we are trying to process it. એ ઇનપુટ્સને આપણે પ્રોસેસ કરીએ છીએ, પ્રોસેસ કરીને સેમી ફિનિશ્ડ ગુડ્સમાંથી ફિનિશ્ડ ગુડ્સમાં કન્વર્ટ કરીએ છીએ. ફિનિશ્ડ ગુડ્સને આપણે કોના માટે બનાવીએ છીએ? નન ઓફ ધ મેન્યુફેક્ચરર મેન્યુફેક્ચર્સ ફોર હિમસેલ્ફ. પોતાના માટે ઉત્પાદન નથી કરતો. હી ઇઝ ઓલવેઝ ડુઈંગ ઇટ ફોર ધ કસ્ટમર્સ, હી ઇઝ ડુઈંગ ફોર ધ માર્કેટ. તો એ માર્કેટ સુધી, છેક સુધી એ વસ્તુ પહોંચી વળે એના માટે એ જે આખી ચેઇન છે, દેટ ઇઝ વોટ ઇઝ સેડ ટુ બી સપ્લાય ચેઇન. મીન્સ સ્ટાર્ટિંગ ફ્રોમ ધ રો મટીરિયલ્સ from the suppliers till you get the finished goods to the end users. Whatever it takes in, every aspect is considered as a part of supply chain. Then we try to maintain that supply chain. We try to see that the supply chain itself is also green in the sense it is also taking up the aspect of environmental protection. None of the suppliers or none of the middle activities are such within the supply chain that harms the environment, and this constant care is taken up. This is what is said to be maintaining supply chain. I repeat, what we are doing is we are taking up with we are learning what is sustainable business practices. કોઈ પણ બિઝનેસ જ્યારે પોતાના પ્રોફિટ અર્નિંગ સાથે એન્વાયરમેન્ટને નુકસાન નથી પહોંચાડતો એ વસ્તુ બેલેન્સ કરવાની ટ્રાય કરે છે ફોર અ લોંગ પીરિયડ ઓફ ટાઈમ ટુ સર્વાઈવ એન્ડ સસ્ટેન ઇઝ સેડ ટુ બી સસ્ટેનેબલ બિઝનેસ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ. ઘણા બધા એવા એક્ટિવિટીઝ દ્વારા it tries to see that the environment is getting the adverse effect to its minimum level. That means જે પણ adverse effect આવે છે એ સાવ મિનિમાઇઝ કરી શકાય એના માટે ઘણા બધા પ્રયત્નો કરવામાં આવે છે. Like I told you, it going paperless, right? That means you are not using the papers. Electronic communication correspondence નો ઉપયોગ થાય છે. Refurbished kind of products વપરાય છે. There may be usage of the production process which minimizes the wastages. એવું પણ કરી શકાય છે. Usage of non-toxic materials can also be there, so that ultimately what we are doing is that we are not producing the harmful items and we are not giving out the harmful items to the environment, right? Various strategies આ કરવા માટે ઘણી બધી વ્યૂહરચનાનો ઉપયોગ અમુક કંપનીઝ કરતી હોય છે. તો few of them we have listed here. Things are available in your text also, right? So the detailed notes have not been given. The text, you can keep your text before you and you can just relate the points. So innovative use of technology can be there. Networking with the partner companies can be utilized. You can have the process improvement by not creating too much of wastage like that. You can take up with the strategies. There can be sustainability reporting. That means whatever we are doing, those reporting can be done, those reports can be created, generated, and accordingly the steps can be taken up, right? Next comes up is maintaining the supply chain. That means from the beginning till end, whatever inputs we take and whatever it takes to bring out the product to the end users, all those points and stages can be a part of supply chain, and we are trying to see the company tries to see that every time the environment is protected or environment is not getting the adverse effect and it is getting minimum adverse effect, that care is taken up, and these business practices are called the sustainable business practices, right? To create, see, business is just a part of economy, it's one part of the economy. On the other hand, if we want to protect our environment, then even the citizens, different organizations, different companies, different industries should be made aware about it. And there are so many environmental awareness programs through which what the ultimately the government does it with the at the different levels, it tries to bring out the different programs so that at all the ends these kind of awareness, જાગૃતતાના જે પ્રોગ્રામ્સ છે એ મૂકવામાં આવે છે કે દરેક જગ્યાએ, દરેક લેવલ ઉપર, દરેક વ્યક્તિ, દરેક સંસ્થા, દરેક ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશન, દરેક એવી કંપનીને કે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીને ખબર પડે કે what can be done to protect the environment. And such kind of awareness programs are dealt in quite a detail in your text, right? Here we have just named them. What you have to do is you have to understand or you have to see to the activities undertaken by the awareness programs. અવેરનેસ પ્રોગ્રામ્સ છે જે એકબીજાથી જુદા હોય, એનું પર્પસ જુદું હોય, ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ જુદા હોય, રાઈટ, પણ અલ્ટિમેટ ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ મે બી ઓફ સેવિંગ ધી એન્વાયરમેન્ટ, પ્રોટેક્ટિંગ ધ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ એટ ડિફરન્ટ લેવલ્સ. એટલે દરેક પ્રોગ્રામની એક પોતાનું એક્ટિવિટીઝ છે અથવા તો એનું એક ફોર્મેટ છે જે ફોર્મેટ તમારે ટેક્સ્ટમાંથી સીધું જ લેવાનું છે, રાઈટ. હિયર વોટ આઈ હેવ ડન ઇઝ આઈ હેવ લિસ્ટેડ ધોઝ પ્રોગ્રામ્સ સો દેટ યુ કેન કમ ટુ નો દેટ દે આર અવેરનેસ પ્રોગ્રામ્સ એન્ડ એટ ડિફરent levels or the government takes up with such kind of awareness programs. Like number 1, environmental education awareness and training schemes, National Environment Awareness Campaign, National Green Corps, National Museum of Natural History, Forest Education Training and Extension, Wildlife Education and Training and Centers of Excellence. Even the awards are given for when you are actually taking care of the environment and when you are taking up these programs successfully, right? So fellowship and awards are also given at times. So these are all kind of awareness programs. As I told you, they are already available in your text and they have to remember as it is, right? So it may be in the form of short notes and we cannot change the facts and figures. They are the facts and figures of the awareness programs, and we cannot change it, you have to remember it as it is, right? So then these are said to be the environmental awareness programs. So here as you can see it, the environmental the last point we are up to, that is said to be importance of environmental studies. Why environmental studies is of so much of importance? Then here we have jotted down few points like environmental studies are of global importance because after, see, I told you in the previous lecture also that after the study of these environmental studies, what do we come to know? We come to know about the global issues, and we also come to know how we can take care of these global issues, how we can make the attempt to see that these global issues are being sorted out properly. So only if we are going with the environmental studies or we are taking up with the environmental studies, we will come to know about this, its global importance, right? Next is to know the impact of development. Once whatever is happening in the world, we want to know and we want to understand that how environment is getting affected to it or through it, means if it should be justified development. Somewhere the development has to be done taking care of the environment, and for that we have just seen that what type of business practices are undertaken. The business practices are so that will not allow us, or it will always make us aware that how we can make the minimum adverse impact on the environment, right? So with the help of environmental studies we can also come to know about the impact એટલે અસર. તો અસર જે છે એ કેવી હોવી જોઈએ? તો it should not be adverse, અને એ વસ્તુનું સતત આપણને ધ્યાન કોણ કરાવી શકે છે? That is environmental studies, right? Next comes up is problem of population. See, the problem of population is a graving problem in the countries like India and China, right? If population increases, what happens is ultimately we have to number of people depend upon the natural resources directly, and these natural resources, as we all know, are of limited say they are in limitation, means they are having the scarce resource, and if so many people start developing or say start depending on this, then it creates the problem, right? So with the help of the study of environmental science, what do we come to know? We can educate and develop such kind of facilities, or maybe such kind of people who with whom, or we with by making them aware, what we can do is we can control the problem of population, because it unnecessarily creates the burden on the natural resources itself, right? Next comes up is issue of poverty. Because of poverty, people highly depend upon the environment directly, and for our development also we depend upon the environment, and what happens ultimately is environment is getting degraded, or it is damaging, it is also damaging the livelihood. Suppose if the people living in of the tribal caste, say tribal people are living in the forest, and if we cut down the forest, they don't get the livelihood, and poor gets more poor, right? That means their condition gets worse. So that can be, so both the environment and the poverty can be considered as challenging issues. So with the help of environmental study, we can understand that how we can make the poverty, how we can reduce the poverty, at the same time how we can make the justified use of environment. Next comes up is overburden of agricultural growth, right? That means if see, all are related points. If population increases, naturally they'll need the food grains, they'll need the food to survive, right? So heavy population creates a kind of burden on the agricultural land. So much of crop is required, that will ultimately force the agriculture to grow higher, and to convert the say more land under the agriculture. That is one thing. Again we start planning to yield, that means to get more out of the same plot of agricultural land. So what happens because of that? We start using all those damaging items, or maybe the varieties of kind of artificial fertilizers are being utilized, which will degrade the land. So that is how we are creating the problems for the environment, right? So these things we will come to know only what are we doing. We are doing the importance, why should, or why this environmental study is so much of importance, because we will only come to know these many things if we have studied this thing properly. Next comes up is groundwater status. That means there has to be a proper use of the water, and especially there has to be a proper use of groundwater. Say there may be problems of like wastages, usage of chemical fertilizers and pesticides pollutes the groundwater. We know that we dump it in the water or on the ground, and that gets it penetrates through the land, and it gets stuck up somewhere in the groundwater. So what happens is then these groundwater gets polluted. That is one thing. On the other hand, there has to be a proper way of conserving the water or rainwater. That means rainwater can be conserved with the help of with the help of say groundwaters, or maybe with the help of conserving the rainwater in the underground wells and all those things. We can provide the drinking water, pure drinking water throughout the year. That thing also can be cleared out, right? So it gives us the realities of the groundwater and its status with the help of study of environmental science or environmental studies. Again we come to know about the forest, right? We all know that the trees are being cut very on a regular basis to meet so many different demands. What happens because of that? The oxygen level decreases. Replanting of trees takes years, and that may create problem for the whole of the environment. So what happens is that the forest or say the managing of the forest is not taken up properly. What happens because of that? We are losing so many important things, and the inhabitant who are living in the forest also gets disturbed. So somewhere we try to see that the modern, well equipped and knowledgeable forest department should be there, should be established, so that they'll protect or they'll conserve the forest for the habitats also, and on the other hand it will help us to have the natural resources for the future generation also. So that is how we can come to know about the forest and its say problems and how to sort it out. We can also come to know about the land degradation, right? Land degradation means it's a kind of say total land available, out of which how much land is available for the urbanization, how much land is available for the agriculture, and then the remaining land for the forest. And at the end what we come to know is that the land is getting degraded, the value of the land is getting say the quality of the land is getting worsened up, right, because of say any chemical usages, maybe dumping of the wastages, maybe due to the water and wind and land erosion. There may be so many problems created to the land also, which degrades its quality. So that care also can be taken up with this study, right. Next comes up is said to be role of institutions related to managing natural resources. That means we can come to know with the help of this study that how the government roles or government institution plays the role, how the say infrastructural facilities should be built, so that ultimately these institutions are not bringing up, or they are bringing up the awareness, more or less it is educating the people, it is providing a such kind of administrative procedure with which the whole environment can be protected, and how the care can be taken is also the factor that can be known. The next comes up is genetic diversity, right. The so many animals have already extincted, so many of the animals and the species are such which are on the verge of extinction. These things we come to know with the help of this study, and somewhere we can take the proper step to see that these breeds can be allowed to say survive for long period of time, and corrective measures can also be taken up for decreasing this genetic diversity, right. That means whatever the diverse species are there, those can be easily managed or it can be protected. Next comes up is that of the urbanization. Urbanization means શહેરીકરણ. વધારે ને વધારે શહેરીકરણ થાય તો what happens is કે જે land સે ફોરેસ્ટ્રી અંડર છે કે એગ્રીકલ્ચર અંડર છે એ બધાને જ નુકસાન પહોંચે છે, અને what happens ultimately is there are problems related to slums, savages, waste disposal, say you may not be getting proper sanitation facilities. All these problems are being seen. So much of the urbanization leads to this. Urbanization again leads to the population problems. That means you have to manage the population in that particular area, which creates a kind of burden. તો આ બધી જ વસ્તુઓનું આપણને ક્યાંથી ખબર પડે છે? આ બધું જાણવા માટે એન્વાયરમેન્ટલ સ્ટડીઝ હોવું જરૂરી છે, અથવા તો સમજવું જરૂરી છે. The next and the last one very popular problem is about knowing about the air and water pollution, right. So with the help of this study we can come to know where the industrial zones have created the problems, or where there is need to have the advanced technology, where the more resources and willingness and awareness kind of rules are to be framed, how the air and water pollution can be controlled, right, what steps can be taken, where it is intense and where it can be controlled. Everything related to that can be known, because the exact status, exact scenario comes up with the help of the study of this particular subject. That is why environmental study has got its own set of importance. Here we have tried to jot down few of them, but in a practical life there are so many cases, or there are so many aspects that we come to know with the help of environmental studies, and that is why it is of great importance to all of us, as the layman also, as government, as the institution also, at the global level also, it has its own importance, right. With this we are coming up to an end of part 13, and it is also the end of this unit. Particularly we have dealt with 13 such sessions related to unit 1 part A and part B. So when we meet next, we shall be starting with a fresh unit, that is unit number 2 related to natural resources, right. Till we meet next, it's a goodbye from my side. Take care and thank you.